yes, hi, and welcome to the Dark Knight Conspiracies. Episode 94, The Fog of War. Well, it just keeps getting faster and faster, doesn't it, folks? So, I'm not going to waste any time, and I'm just going to get into it. And you're probably not surprised, but you might be curious as to why I'm going to bring this up, among other things. Well, this was, this was considered the slap heard round the world. Some people say the shot heard round the world. Well, I'll show you the shot heard round the world towards the end of this video. But, like everybody else, you had some people say it was staged, some said it was real, and I analyzed this, and I think it was staged just for one simple reason. Looking at this and the amount, if I want to say the amount of force that was put into this slap, given Chris Rock's size, he probably should have staggered back a few feet. He didn't lose his footing whatsoever. So, that's my take on it, and there's a reason for it. But if it wasn't staged, and for all those people that say, no, it wasn't staged and everything, oh, did you see the anger on Will Smith's face? Hello, he's a professional actor, right? He gets paid the money. He gets paid money to put on those kind of displays, right? But one thing was very obvious to me about all of this, regardless whether it was staged or not. I'll just say in front of millions of people on live TV, assaulted somebody. Where's the police? Where's the security that's supposed to be at these events, right? And I'm just going to bring up, you haven't forgot about Jussie Smollett, right? Because, he only spent like 3 days in jail and he got out. I always seem to remember a phrase of white privilege. Did we see something maybe kind of similar? I mean, who really has the privilege, right? I digress. But my main reason for bringing this up, and this is why it's titled The Fog of War. Distractions, distractions, distractions. Right after this happened, the next day, what hit the news? The Hunter Biden laptop. They're trying, and I've been at this for quite a while, so this is like second nature to me. I can pretty much tell when an event is a distraction versus something that might have some significant purpose. But my take on all this is they don't want you focusing on probably two things here. They don't want you focusing on the laptop, and they don't want you focusing on the economy. That's why, for the last, and just like COVID, they start a countdown. Every morning the shows open up. We're into day 43 of the Ukraine war. I mean, how much of this stuff can you keep showing? And they're not reporting on anything else. That's why everything is a distraction. The inflation, they don't want people talking about the gas prices, the inflation. So, in my opinion, that's why they keep coming up with these type of events. And a couple days later, we had the whole Bruce Willis thing. I'm not even going to get into it. It's just one thing after another. So, I'm going to touch on this, and And I think this article is interesting for a reason, because in a previous show, I brought out how one of the goals or one of the purposes of Putin doing what he's doing is he's going to show how divided NATO is, and he's going to show how useless the UN is. So after this, Bucha thing, which again, I'll believe what Russia or China say over what our media and other countries are saying. I mean, this is how bad it's gotten. You know, there's all this genocide and everything else, and Zelensky goes before the UN and gives them an ultimatum to either do something or dissolve. And I just thought that was interesting, because I do think at some point we're going to see a peace act, we're going to see a ceasefire, we're going to see something, and then let's bring on the Taiwan show. So this is all we see, right? Well, you know, Saturday night, Sunday morning, there were two other things, and I'm just going to show one article. Mass shooting in Sacramento. Then there was one in Dallas. Remember the days when one of these things would happen and this is all we'd see on the news for 3 days? Again, people are just numb to this. It's like we're used to it. We expect it. It's like living in Israel every day, right? You expect suicide bombers at some point. You know, you just learn to live with it. But again, I think the only reason these didn't get any attention was because it didn't fit the narrative. And it had to do with the identities of the suspects. Now, after looking into further information about this, because this is like 3 days old now, they call it a mass shooting. You know, why don't they just call it what it really was? This was a drive-by shooting with two rival gangs. Plain and simple. You know, it's the stuff that goes on in Chicago every weekend. But I found it interesting. Monday morning, turned on my TV, which I was kind of surprised. You know, the morning show on Newsmax starts at 6:30. You know, I'm up, getting ready to go to work and stuff. It wasn't until 6:57 this got brought up. And it was just a quick headline and on to other headlines. That whole half hour of the first show was nothing but Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Again, they're trying to keep you not focusing on what the real issues and what's really going on. So we finally get an answer. My rant over the last video over this judge who should not be a Supreme Court judge, and it's got nothing to do with her qualifications. It's got to do with her philosophy. I mean, this is plain out torture. And it's being allowed. And again, they're trying to normalize it, just like they're trying to normalize this. So they did the usual. Judiciary Committee, 11 yeas, 11 nays, so now it's going to go to the floor. And again, I hope, for those of you that listen, I hope you flood these Senate lines that I gave you in the last video, and just let them know, you know, just be polite, and just tell them, hey, the American people are watching, please do not do this, and if you do, you're saying yes to child torture, and we'll see you on November 8th for the elections to vote a lot of you people out of office. So now I think we pretty much got our answers that she's going to get confirmed, because the usual suspects, Murkowski, Romney, and Collins, Republicans, in name only, I don't know why they just don't switch to the Democratic Party. They're going to vote for her, so she's in. And, I know I went on a rant last time asking, where the hell is the black community? Where the hell are our black leaders? We need them in this battle that we're experiencing in all our communities. Well, I watched the Orange Man's speech on Saturday, and excuse me, I found one. This lady is fire. And for you people in Michigan, boy, you better do whatever you can to get this woman elected. And I'm just going to play a small snippet.
Kristina Karamo, your next Michigan Secretary of State. And I say your because my responsibility is to serve the people of Michigan, irrespective of political affiliation, irrespective of any other office or any other thing. The current office holder, whose name I won't even say, she's not even a Democrat. She's an authoritarian leftist who treats the people of Michigan like the unwashed masses.
Now that's what I'm talking about. We need more people. We need more people like this. Not only in our communities, but in Washington, D.C. So we're seeing more and more. Another Republican not going to run, retiring. Another staff member of Kamala Harris stepped down today. The Democrats are up to I think 33 that aren't running. Again, folks, these are jobs for life. And the only take I can put on this, because these people get filthy rich in these positions, is they know what's coming down the road, and they don't want to be around, and they don't want to be involved. There is going to be such an awakening and such judgment. Praise the Lord. All glory to you, because boy, I have a feeling he's going to come down and he's going to give his wrath, and I don't want to be on the receiving end of it. So this one's breaking, and this is going to be my this is somewhat my breaking point, because I'm tired of all the people out there. Devolution's in progress. The military's in control. Everything's scripted. We're watching a movie. Well, the people that I see reporting on this stuff down at the border, this ain't fake. Unless they got a bunch of actors on the other side just going through the river. So when this Title 42, and again, they put dates on everything, so this is towards the middle or end of May when this expires. Maybe to give the people a head start to start making it towards the border. Well, I want to see, because this is downright an invasion. And this is a national security threat. So my thing is, if the military's in control, this should be the red line. And enough of all this, and let's start dropping the truth. Let's start making some mass arrests. We can't allow this to happen. It cannot happen. Our economy is in the toilet as it is. It's going to be rough on people as it is, and this ain't going to make it better. Now, to get to what I called the shot around the world. I've listened. This came out over the weekend, and there were threats and this and that, but it's finally a reality, and this is what I've been waiting for. I've been saying in my videos, keep your eye on the financials. This was the shot heard round the world. So they tried to sanction Putin, take him off the SWIFT system, and he fired back. He's now backing the ruble with gold and commodities, and he told all the European leaders, if you want your gas and energy, you're going to have to pay in rubles. And in order to pay in rubles, you can't use those paper fiat dollars. You're going to have to back it with something, or you're going to have to pay for it in gold. Saudi Arabia is on board. India is on board. China is on board. This is the end of the petrodollar, folks. They are going to leave the European Union and the United States and Canada high and dry. This is the collapse, in my opinion, of the financial system. And it's now a question of how long before it gets here. It'll happen in Europe first. And I listened to two money guys. I listened to Gerald Celente and I listened to Jim Willey. If you don't know who these people are, go look them up. Jim Willey basically said Putin just slit the throat of the deep state with this move. So, this is what they don't want you focusing on, which would tie into the economy and, of course, the laptop. And as usual, I'll leave the links for all this in there. But, the chatter, a lot of these 17 board people, they're all in there. Okay, it's April, showing all the early April posts and everything. Oh, this is it. This is the year. Because, these things are dated back in 2018 and stuff. And the only thing I'll say to them is, well, I'll see you next year. This is like Linus sitting in the pumpkin patch waiting for the great pumpkin to come. And then leaves and says, okay, well, I'll just try again next year. Although I must say I'm seeing some signs of some positive things this time around. Orange Man's been doing some interviews, and if you pay close attention to what he says, he's dropping some clues. Kash Patel's out there doing the rounds. He's dropping some clues. A lot of things are pointing to it's going to be a busy April. We'll see. We'll have to just wait and see how it plays out. I'm not optimistic, although there's always hope. I'm not going to give up on that. But I will say I am starting to see some positive things. You're starting to see some progress in the voting stuff. DeSantis doing a hell of a job. Still not sure about him, but doing a hell of a job down there, taking on Disney in Florida, all that crap. We're back to this, I'm sorry, 1% of the population is calling all the shots and making all the laws with all this women in sports and transgender shit. Sorry. Paint it any way you want to. People can't, Supreme Court justices can't give a definition of a woman. Sorry. There's only two two genders, man and a woman, end of story. I'm not saying people don't have medical problems where, you know, hormones and chromosomes and stuff like that are off. But it's not natural. But yet we're making all these laws and all these exceptions. I better calm down because I get wound up over that stuff. Again, excuse me. I don't care what you do with your personal life. Just don't throw it on me. And with that, I'll say, stay strong, stay safe, stay vigilant, be prepared if you're not. Keep your faith. And until next time, God bless everybody. Zebra 3, take us home.